so much for joining me today. It's always a delight for me to come share out of the wealth of what we've analyzed at Valdemar's Intelligence. During the week, we spoke about transforming how you see money. And we just thought it was worthwhile to bring this lecture so that you will understand how to see money, wealth, and even perhaps result in a different way. I am Dr. Joshua Kolawole. I'm a global transformational leadership trainer. And I do this excellently well so as to communicate the wisdom that would help you move from being a socialized mind to being a transforming mind. Please, I would love you to stay tuned and listen to the end. Thank you so much. Let's discuss transforming how you see money. Look, I'm going to go over these four concepts. Number one is the true concept of true wealth and physical funds. And then the second one is the difference between the pursuit of wisdom and money. The third major thing I would discuss is money as an instrument. And the fourth thing is the money cycle. That's positioning for great wealth. I will be careful not to go via the economics part of the whole idea. I would stay more on the transformational leadership dimension of wealth and money. And please, I would like you to stay tuned. The first thing I would love to talk about today is the definition of transformation, so that we're all guided and aligned by the values that define what transformation is. And this would help you to see money, see results, see wealth with another eyes, with a more expanded, a transformed mind. Let me give you a shocking revelation. A transformed mind sees both profit and loss equally. Anytime you see loss and you feel more worse, more bad, or down, and when you see profit, you get more excited, and it's not balanced, then there's still some transformation that needs to happen in your mind. So for a transformed mind, we accept both failure to be equal to success. We see loss to be equal to profit, because we understand that there is no peace without war. There is no success without failure. There is no loss without profiting. There's no profiting without loss. You must first invest into something as a seed. It would have to grow through a phase during which you would possibly be running at a loss until you catch on to profit. If you do not stay focused, after a while, the profit can decline to loss. So it needs you to constantly be scanning your environment. So please understand that transformation is a complete change in the quality of outcomes and the standard of living of an individual and a people that happens through well-defined processes. And I used the word processes in plural because it's not only once, it's a continuous thing, and which causes positive transitions and quantum leaps in the maturity of the minds of the people. I just told you about a matured mind. They see profit and loss equally. They see life and death equally. Their capabilities, the ability to bring, the capacity to bring on changes, the availability of advanced tools to make a difference, their socioeconomic values, the socioeconomic values we create as a transformed mind is different. And then the uniqueness in our environment and the noble impact with which we make on our social system, either directly or indirectly. So all these are crucial things that defines transformation. So when I say I want to help you to transform how you see money, what I'm saying literally is that I want to bring your knowledge of money and understanding of money to a matured level, so that your capabilities, your socioeconomic value that you would create would become different. And then the uniqueness you would, of course, enjoy in your social environment, and ultimately the noble impact. The first thing that I would like to strike you with is you should rethink how you define money. And I would love you to look at it this way. True wealth is not measured in money or status or power. It is measured in legacy we leave behind for those we love and those we inspire. This is Caesar's Chavez. Money is only a tool. It will take you wherever you wish, but it will not replace you as the driver. So don't forget, we'll still talk about money being an instrument. Then the real measure of our wealth is how much we should be worth if we lost all our money? This will help us along the journey of the discussion. Please just stay with me. The reason from the last set of quotes is why I read that last quote is that the way you would see money would change if we work on two things. Number one, if we work on your identity, your being. And number two, if you work on your resourcefulness, what you're doing with your identity. So I am talking about one, your identity, your being. That's your image, your person. And that's the clarity of you that you have about yourself in your inner mind. So when I just meet you, I'm meeting the physical suit, earthly suit that you are putting on. But your true self is actually your inner being. And I'm actually interacting with that person. So if I ask you to rethink the definition of money, the first thing about identity is that true wealth is based on who you are. Is based on who you are becoming. Is based on who you are, not what you're doing or what you have. True wealth is based on leadership, identity, ideals, and this is based on who you are when all the external things you possess or you assume you possess are removed or taken away from you. I love giving it this way. By the time I strip you of all your maybe qualifications, adornments, attires, everything you think you possess externally, by the time I remove all those things, who am I meeting? That is actually your true identity. So an example is Nelson Mandela. When he was in prison, that was when we knew who he truly was. He was fighting for a cause. He stood his ground. Another example is Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa. Those are people who had been driven to their extremes and they stood by clear identity. The same thing goes to so many other transformed leaders that the world has enjoyed. And so I want you to know that who you are truly, when we remove all external belongings that you either know you have or you assume you have from you, then we know what your true identity is. This leadership identity is the leadership capacity in your inner mind. I just spoke to that now, and I said that determines the influence you would command. Remember, John Maxwell said leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So that identity defines the influence you're able to command, the responsibilities you will take on. When you meet people in an environment and you hear them volunteering, you would understand that their true self in their mind is actually richer, wealthier than what you see externally. The faithfulness to a cause you will commit to, and when all your external adornment or valuables are taken away. So that is what defines our identity. And I would love to talk more about resourcefulness now before I come back to integrating identity and resourcefulness together. I define resourcefulness as the ability to organize wealth-based resources together and manage changes. The first thing I would love you to note is that your health is your first major resource because it determines the vitality to which you will do socioeconomic work. And that is crucial. So that is why it is good to invest heavily in your health. It's a popular saying that health is wealth. Health is a far more significant thing than even the pursuit of money. So what I want you to start thinking about now is there are more important things than the physical money. Now I would love you to please go with me. I want you to note that there are two sides to this concept of money. You see, there is the intangible part and there's the tangible part. There's the tangible side to this. What we focus on is this tangible dollars, or let me say pounds, or rands, or just name the currency. We focus on how much am I earning, how much is given to me per week. Let's say I'm earning $2,000 per week. This is what we focus on. But what we have forgotten to focus on is that it is this intangible part that drives this part. We call this part the true wealth. We call this part the tangible income. So I want you to look at yourself today. If you truly want to change who you are towards working towards being more resourceful, you need to start looking at this side of the equation more. You need to look at how healthy are you, because the management of your energy is a bigger wealth. Some are able to put in enough exercise, enough training into themselves that it's easier for them to manage their health over a longer period of time and deliver more energy over that time. The management of your access into a location, management of relationship, management of that location, because in an organization is such like a location. The peace, the stability, the joy in that environment goes a long way. The third thing is any talent, gift, and opportunities you have. Either you inherit it or you acquire or develop it. All this falls more into the intangible part of wealth that can actually birth bigger amount of tangible income. So this is what gets converted to this in the process of application. The other thing in why people pursue power and position is because power gives you access to great wealth. But you must use power with the right principles, because power corrupts and power reveals your true identity. So all these are actually the intangible part of great wealth that births the tangible final physical funds that you get today. I also want you to note that we all talk about the money I have in my account today. I will say cash at hand, cash in bank. But more importantly is that even for the physical resources, there's actually some investment you can do on yourself as a transformed mind, that even if you don't have that amount in your account as of today, you have invested in your learning. Let's say I've invested in training myself. I've invested in working with people with high quality of thinking. And then I've embarked on a journey with strong character. I'm now disciplined in saving, disciplined in investment. It's only a matter of time. Even if I'm earning $2,000 a week today, I'm already programming in my future with this investment that will be able to scale. And once I scale, my income would increase, definitely. Because don't forget the definition of transformation. You will improve the quality of your life and you would improve the standard of your living. So with this, you must understand that this resourcefulness is critical. How you are able to organize wealth-based resources, wealth and manage change. Because a lot of things will change in your life. But your ability to organize the resources around you, and changes could either be positive change and negative change in this case. So the ability to adapt, to stay resilient and adapt to such changes with all these intangible values will ultimately help you to advance your cause. So that's that about this. Now, the concept of your identity, once again, identity has its own building blocks. And these building blocks, you must invest dearly into them. The first one is wisdom or intelligence. Wisdom is the ability to know what is right and what is wrong, and to also prevent yourself from being led wrongly. Because there are so many things in your society that wants to lead you wrongly, and your ability to know the right values to hold on to and to be able to use them towards advancing your cause of getting the true wealth. Remember, the true wealth is not the final fund. The true wealth is actually those principles you have held dearly. I want to warn you though. Because there are some nations that invest in the wisdom that manufactures an aircraft. And there are some nations that buys the aircraft. The nations who invest in learning and development, in research and development, to learn the wisdom that manufactures an aircraft, will continually lead nations who just consumes the aircraft. So that means the main thing that in your identity that you must invest in, if you truly want to be someone of genuine wealth, sustainable wealth, is wisdom and intelligence. You must invest in wisdom. Wisdom will teach you the right core values to embrace. These right core values will guide your faith and your belief system. Once it guides your faith, it will help you to define the right passion and pursuit to go after, and ultimately, this will determine your leadership strength. Hence, people ask a lot of questions that, why am I behaving this way? Why is it that I self-sabotage? Or why is it that I have this kind of result ultimately? I told you money, I'm also equating it to result in this case. I tell them, fine, I can at a broad end say your leadership strength is little. But the idea is, You faint in the days of adversity because your leadership strength is little. However, I knew you failed, not because your leadership strength is little, but because all these are little. And so, you need to go and invest more in your wisdom and intelligence. It will guide you to strengthen your core values, guide you to strengthen your faith, it will strengthen your passion and pursuit, and then you will stop fainting in the days of adversity. Now, for you to be more resourceful, for you to organize appropriately, for you to organize according to a sound order, you must be in a disciplined battle rhythm. And I love this word so dearly. The reason why I love it so dearly is this. Look, if I say you are in a battle rhythm, I'm talking about something like this. This is a rhythm. I'm going according to a rhythm. So what I'm saying is, if I finish a program this year, I want to make sure by this same time next year I've finished another program, or at least I am on something. If I'm saving $50 weekly, every week I must maintain the cadence. That's what I'm saying. You must have a disciplined rhythm you're going along with in your life. If you say, okay, I stay to read weekly, then every week the interval, the metronome must be the same at every time. This is when you can be set to set up a structured system that is on its way to greatness. So you must build a team, and the team must be working along a rhythm. This rhythm is what you can now alter. After a while, you can increase your travel speed. You can increase your travel speed, and instead of weekly, you can then save maybe $100 weekly. You can go into several systems that follows rhythm. Once you find a system that helps you follow rhythm, I know banks love auto payments. Merchants love you to put your card on auto pay website, payment platforms, such that you don't get to bother to remember, and then they can auto deduct. Once you put yourself on such rhythm, it helps a great deal to automatically advance you and make you great, to be more resourceful. You see, audacious vision. You must be someone who sees beyond the ordinary. You must have strategic focus and alignment. You must know those who you want to align with and those who you will find a way to manage relationship with. If you're not their enemies, but you know. Mercedes-Benz knows their customers, and Toyota also knows its own. And you cannot say one car is the best car. Everyone has his own strategic focus and strategic alignment with his own people. And each customer knows the brand they are loyal to in terms of loyalty. And that's because of strategic focus and alignment. Diligence, you must have orderliness. Anyone who is resourceful would understand the place of honor. Knowing how to honor people. Honor is a dimension of wisdom, actually. Teachability, ability to learn and adapt in a society and adapt in a system. Ability, and you see, we cannot have a morally neutral society. We must be aligned. We must have clear values on where we are, what we want and what we don't want. The ability to accommodate both our far point and our near point, and also stay adaptive and resilient. And ultimately, anyone who is resourceful is always thinking about building to last. If you ever ask them, their goal will be, I have a dream that must live beyond me, a transgenerational dream. Anything that is of worth that you want to pursue, you must think about it in a transformational ideal. Thank you so much, and please stay with me. So the difference between pursuit of wisdom and pursuit of money is this. Look, in the normal cadence, and I need you to please listen at this point. In the normal cadence, this is the way people think generally. They just want to start from their life and then start pursuing money. And one of the key reasons why I'm taking this class is so that you understand that the concept of wealth needs to start with learning something. You must learn a trade. You must learn a trade. You must learn to build a system. You must learn a concept, or you must learn how to solve a problem. How to solve a problem. Now, when you learn how to solve the problem, you need to go and apply what you have learned. You see, the transition between this and this is where understanding comes, is where you have deeper wisdom. This work The process of application helps you to become wiser, and it is from this wisdom that wealth comes. I would want to, at this point, talk about Ecclesiastes 7:12. The reason why I brought up this is because wisdom and money can give you or get you almost anything. But one thing that makes wisdom excel money is that it will save your life. So the difference why you need to transform the way you see money is that money is not just something you learn a trade quickly and you want to start quickly making money. If you really want to make sustainable wealth, then this thing becomes a cycle. As you get in money here, you come back to this learning curve. When you learn again, you start applying it, you get more wisdom, you get more wealth, then you come back. By the time you're coming back here, learning more, going more, the wealth result that you will be having, maybe you have W1, W2, by the time you get to W3, the value starts increasing. And the value starts increasing at a geometric rate. And that is what we call transformation. Because the outcomes increases massively. And even you're wowed. So you don't finish school like a first degree and just say that's the end. You go and get the job, you apply the learning, you come back again and read through the cycle, reapply, get more wisdom, get more wealth, go back again. If the cycle keeps continuing in your life, it's only a matter of time. You will discover that after a sequence of a reading, you are seeing yourself transforming, moving with massive results. And that's why I talk about the concept of moving from a 2 to a 20, a 20 to a 200, a 200 to a 2000. Instead of just moving from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. Which is an arithmetic progression that a lot of people want. I'm calling you to a world of transformation where you keep in a disciplined rhythm, you learn new skills, you apply it, you gain more wisdom, you become expert in it, you get more wealth, then you come back again, learn a newer skill, and then you keep transitioning. So the world is currently looking for people who are multi-skilled, and then they keep increasing in their skills, and their wealth and transformation keeps rising, instead of people who are just unifocused on a single area. And of course, once they start declining in that area, then it becomes like a death in situ for them. So the right way you should see money is that it comes through a learning process. And it goes through this. And the reason why this must be the interval is that this protects your life. This preserves the life of the bearer of the money when the money comes. But if you just start a small business and all you're gunning for is just the money, you're not ready to apply the learning process or make sure you're constantly developing yourself, you will run into trouble. There won't be wisdom to solve the trouble, and it will either kill you or kill the business itself, and then you go back to the starting point again and start learning. I hope you get what I just explained. So, all right, so money is a tool. It will take you wherever you wish, but it will not replace you as the driver. The reason why I want you to know that money is amoral. Money only responds to the morality of the bearer. And you need to understand this concept holistically, because money should not drive you. Money should not own you. Money should not change who you are or what you do. Instead, it is you who should drive, who should lead. And that's why you must work on the maturity of your mind. And that's why I need you to transform the way you see money today. I want you to know that you are in charge, not the funds that should be in charge of you. So the presence or absence of money should not diminish your joy. And that is why I said, for a transformed mind, profit is equal to loss. I hope you get that. I also want to take time to explain this concept of money cycle. We all at different points in our life had gotten access to income. I would just love to start from the net income. Either you got it by borrowing, or by working, or by getting it as a either you got it as a gift, or you got it by borrowing, or anyway, at least you have the income. Now, this income will go through different ways. There could be more ways than this. I just decided to list these few ones. There is expenditure, and some expenditure are totally consumed. Some expenditure are not totally consumed because if I go and buy a car now, I still have the car. So the car is not totally consumed. Even though it's an expenditure, it's still an asset in a way, but it could also be a liability if you analyze it by another rule. So one important thing, but if I get to buy an air ticket now, once I fly from point A to point B, the service is consumed and that money is gone totally. So we must understand that. So there is the goods and services that will be totally consumed, and there will be goods and services that will not be totally consumed, and that we all invest in. We invest in savings, it comes back with interest, and then that's all about it. Then you can, once it comes back with interest, it returns back as net income. We also invest money, but we invest in two ways. We either invest in a business system, or we invest in learning and capacity development for ourselves. This is great because this will definitely lead to other income, further income, and depending on the kind of soil we invest in, it will birth greater income. And if the cycle keeps continuing, the only thing that can happen to us is if all our money is skewed towards expenditure and is skewed towards more of consumer goods. Now, the reason why I said non-consumed goods is that there are some consumed goods or non-consumed goods that actually also create a brand for us. Create a brand for us. That brand can actually be a source of credibility that can also drive our image to also become great. So I don't want you to totally see some expenditure you incur in the process of getting some things done as a total loss. Like I've heard about friends who actually fly business class, fly first class because they want to meet people, and they know when they meet people in such environment, so they're actually indirectly investing in relationship. That's where I'm going. But they may think they're creating a brand, although they're consuming that fund, but it's also investing in relationship. We also donate offerings to organization, basically, and we just have this believe in the divine way that this money finds its way back into our life in the future. So it's like we're sowing a seed. But why did I have to go through all this rigor of trying to explain how money can flow from one end to another? I went through this because I want you to know that basically money has a cycle, and if you have been attentive in your life, you will note periods in your life where money is at its peak, and you will know in your life when times that money has been at its trough. By now you should understand that it is about seed, time, and harvest. And because you are going to invest the seed on different soil. The seeds themselves have their own different timeline. The soil itself can affect it. So whatever you invest the seed into can determine what the time will be, what kind of harvest you will get. But for every harvest you get, you must also understand that you must separate seed and fruit from it. Fruit might be what you incur into expenditure. Seed might be what you would have to plant again. But why did I have to go through this? Because I want you to position yourself for great wealth. I need you to constantly be investing in learning and capacity development. This is going to transform you. I also need you to constantly be investing in building business system. Now, there are two ways to this. If you don't want to start your own business system, if you don't want to start, then go and look for well-studied system that's been around for years. Understand what the dynamics is and how the culture aligns with that system, and then invest in other existing but successful business system. So look, you don't necessarily have to start your own business, but you can look for other ones and then start. So either way, you will get to position yourself for great wealth. So I want you to know that income and expenditure will continuously be in your life, but how well you align with the understanding that money comes in a season. There will be some, in fact, if you pay attention, there are some cycles that come annually. Some comes maybe every 3 years. Depending on how you study the pattern, you will see how the frequency of wealth has been in your life. And then you can position yourself to know how to sow your seed and how to earn the reward. Ultimately, I would advise you to grow your mind. I would advise you to rule your desires, rule your priorities. Make sure you force them down the path of patience. Make sure you rule your fears and your anxieties, your doubts. Make sure you rule everything that makes you spend carelessly. And I want you to know that what you see, what you should see as true wealth, is actually the transformative capacity that you can build from your mind. Is that intangible part of you, building your wisdom, building your understanding, building your core values. These are the things that actually drive great wealth. Building the strength of your character, improving the quality of your learning, improving the quality of your mind. These are the things that are equal to great wealth. Improving the quality of the relationships you're in. These are the things that actually mean great money. So do not focus on the paper or the coin or the amount of money in your account today. Focus on that potential greatness that your mind can birth tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.